All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Atera's Network Discovery webinar. My name is Aryeh, and I'm a Customer Success Manager here at Atera. Together with me today is my colleague Shahar, the Network Discovery Product Manager. Hello, Shahar.
Aryeh, happy to be here with you today, guys.
So glad you can make it. We're so happy that all of you guys can join us today, and we're very excited to show you our newly upgraded Network Discovery add-on feature. Here's a couple of things that we'll be going over in today's webinar. We will talk about what is network discovery and how it works. We'll discuss some use cases. Then we'll show you how to run scans for your customers or your department's networks. Afterwards, Shahar will give us a little sneak peek as to what is in store for network discovery and some of the features that are in the pipeline. As always, we will wrap up the webinar with a live Q&A. So please be sure to put all of your questions into the Q&A chat box in the Zoom control bar. So Shahar, why don't you tell us a little bit about network discovery?
Sure. So network discovery is an essential tool that allows IT pros to scan a network and map all devices connected to it. A bit about the use cases for network discovery. So one of the most critical cases of using network discovery today is security. As an IT pro, you always want to be aware of any change in the network and know about every new device that pops up and might be a security breach. Network discovery provides the ability to ensure that all the devices in the network are monitored by the Atera agent, are patched, and of course, have an antivirus installed. The next use case, of course, is customer onboarding. With network discovery, you can perform a network assessment for new customers and prospects by creating a snapshot of the network, which can be used as baseline for a quote, for example. Another use case is, of course, upsell opportunities. Detecting devices on a regular basis allows MSPs to scale up the business by offering services for more endpoints. Our last release of supporting Workgroups dramatically improves the visibility across networks and allows detecting up to 10 times more devices than before. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Shahar. So there you go. Those are some amazing reasons why network discovery is vital for any MSP or IT department. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into the Atera platform. This is our dashboard. Most of you should recognize this by now. We're just going to hit over here. On the left-hand side, we navigate over to network discovery. If you haven't yet activated network discovery, then you'll see a trial option here. So just go through the steps, begin your trial, and then you'll be redirected to the network discovery landing page. So how does this work? It's pretty straightforward, actually. The first thing you want to do is you want to select your customer. Once you select your customer, you want to select your scanning agent. We recommend that if you have a domain controller, you run the scan using domain controllers. But now with Workgroup supported, you can actually run the scan essentially off of any device that has an Atera agent installed on it. So for the sake of this demo, I'm going to go ahead and select this one. You click on Discover, and the network discovery scan begins. You can see that it's I have 2 going in progress over here. That also reminds me that if you have multiple subnetworks, then you can have multiple scans going simultaneously to get faster results. So that is always encouraged. To break down a report, I'm just going to pull up a previously run scan so you guys can see what it would look like. So this is a scan I did about a month ago, but you can see the basic information over here at the top, the general details of the domain name. I have it called Workgroup. The scanning agent was a desktop that I used to run the scan, the customer name, the network name, default gateway, public IP, so on. A little breakdown of the device types that I have on my network. And of course, the OS editions and their versions are broken down over here. If we scroll down to the bottom half of the report, I could see a complete snapshot of all of the devices that are on my network, or I should say that were on my network when I ran this scan. So you can see there's some of these are online. You see the device names, device types, IP addresses, MAC addresses, the platforms, OS editions, and pretty much all all the information that you would need as an IT professional to monitor these devices. Okay. Now, every time I set up a scan on one of my customers, the scan is essentially going to be forever scanning. So every X amount of hours, this scan gets re-updated, and any new device that is discovered on the network shows up over here under opportunities. So let's go check that one out. We ran the scan on this customer Allo, so we're just gonna, by the way, when I say customer, I don't necessarily mean it has to be a customer. If you're an IT department, then this can be run as departments. So if you have, let's say, the finance group of computers or the R&D group of computers, those are your, customers. So here, let's break this down a little bit. Under my newly added workstations, here I can see all of the devices that are new on my network. And as you can see, none of them have a Terra agent on them. I have a total of 39 devices that have connected to this network. Additionally, I have some unmonitored SNMP devices over here at the bottom. I got some 2 switches and a printer. And the reason why we encourage domain controllers is for the ability to find some storage disks. Here you can see that I have a few hard disks that should be updated to solid states as the industry standard. All right. So again, like I said, every time you set up one of these scans, it's constantly being updated over here in the background. Okay. The little number over here next to network discovery is actually a sum of all of the network discovery scans that you have currently running on all of your customers. And the number is implying that you have 70 devices that are currently available for scanning, meaning that there's 70 devices that are not being monitored by network discovery. Okay. So this feature of workgroup support and network discovery that we went over today came by request from many of our customers. So be sure to check out Terra's feature board where you can add feature requests, upvote existing feature requests, and get notified when your feature request status is changed. I'm going to give it back over to Shahar to give us a little bit of a sneak peek on what's in store.
Sorry, sure. So what's in the pipeline for network discovery? So again, workgroup support is just the tip of the iceberg. Now Terra has a dedicated team that works hard, I must say, on network discovery. So the roadmap includes very valuable and advanced features based on the request, by the way, and the needs of our fantastic Terra customers community. We're planning to add, at the first step, we're gonna add vulnerability scans to the network discovery to help you guys tighten the security around the network. Also planned is a new UI for seamless experience of managing all networks from one center view, which allows noticing every small change in every network. In the long term, we are planning to add more advanced network information for maintaining network health and uptime. Also, advanced settings to fully control the scan and the ability to scan multiple subnets from a single agent to map subnets that cannot have an agent installed, like, for example, CCTV networks. So stay tuned. And I encourage you guys to add your requests to the Terra board. We are listening to you. Thanks.
So many wonderful, exciting things to come. I'm actually really excited for this, Shahar. Don't forget to join our growing social media communities. We have a robust Facebook community, which is a great resource for every MSP and IT professional. We have a dedicated Slack channel where you will have direct access to key players on our product, R&D, and success teams, such as myself and Shahar. For those who prefer Reddit, we do have a very active subreddit. I'm also there a lot, so stop by and say hi. We greatly appreciate you taking the time to join Shahar and myself today. We can't wait to show you what's coming next. From here, we're going to go ahead and move into the live Q&A. So remember, if you guys have any questions, submit them into the Q&A chat box. And yalla. So let's just get started going through these questions. I see we already have a handful.
Aryeh, we also have some questions in the chat, I see.
That is a good point. If you guys are still putting in questions in the chat, if you guys don't mind just putting into the Q&A so we don't accidentally miss somebody.
Sure.
Okay. I see a question from Carlos. If you run a scan on a new network, what do you need? You mentioned that you need an agent installed, but I take a laptop with a Terra agent and run discovery on a network. So yes, all you need is essentially an Atera agent installed onto any single device that is connected to a network for the ability to run the scan over that network. I apologize, I'm having a hard time understanding some of these questions. Folks, I apologize if some of these questions are a little bit over my technical ability, so I'm going to have to double check with our technical team to know specifics. I do see a question from Gordon that I know I can definitely answer. Yes, the recording is going to be distributed amongst everybody, so don't worry about that.
See a question from Michael, how to add unmonitored devices when found. So basically you can do it if you scan the network from a domain controller. Currently it's not available for workgroups, but we are planning to add this ability in the future. We're definitely considering it, but currently from domain controller, we can just click on add device from opportunities and you got it. What else do we have here?
Shahar, there's a question from Gregory. He's wondering whether we can use a Mac agent to run the scan. Do you perhaps know?
So currently, Mac agent, we cannot run a scan from a Mac agent, just from Windows, but we definitely consider to add it in the future. We know it's an essential ability, so yeah, definitely. But currently, it's not available, unfortunately.
George is asking, if I understand the question correctly, which scanning agent is being used? It's up to you. Again, if you have a domain controller, we encourage you to use your DC to run the scan, but you can select any server, any desktop, any laptop that has an Atera agent on it to run the scan.
I would like to add that the second priority for domain controller is, of course, server, because we know that the server is on site permanently and cannot be outside the site. So we recommend server out as the second priority in case we don't have a domain controller.
Okay, Matt is asking, he's showing duplicates. Our support team is currently working on a fix to remove the duplicates. Those are devices that were discovered when you ran a previous trial, if we're not mistaken. But I will definitely keep an eye on that and let you know via email. Also, Matt, regarding your printers that are showing up as unmonitored SMP devices, you should definitely open up a ticket with our support team so they can help troubleshoot that for you. Hercules is asking a question whether we'll be able to add devices directly from the network scan. And Shahar, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that is in the pipeline.
Yeah, currently it's available with domain controller, but for workgroups, indeed in the pipeline.
Anonymous attendees asking a rather technical question regarding alerts. If you can elaborate, I would appreciate that. And then you can always, of course, open a ticket with support as they are better equipped to handle those kinds of questions. Anthony, we answered that question live already, that we're working on. Again, domain controllers can deploy and workgroup support is in the pipeline. Ulf, you're asking if you have several departments on the same network, should or could many agents do the network scan? So if you have, yes, if you have, you can run multiple scans essentially on the same network using multiple devices, again, to get quicker results. Although if you have just one network, I don't necessarily see, unless it's just a speed thing. But if you have subnetworks, then yes, you should definitely have a scan running on each of the subnetworks or departments, you know, however you have it split up. John, to answer your question regarding the firewall, I don't believe it needs to be disabled, but there is a knowledge base article that specifies the specifics of how it should be set up in order for the scan to run successfully. You could just do a quick search in our knowledge base library.
I see a question from Gregory. Why does Discovery shows more discovered devices than I found listed in the opportunity page for the same customer? So basically, the opportunities are devices without agent installed. So in general, you would see more devices in Discover tab than in the Opportunities tab, because some group of the entire networks are not monitored by an agent, so you will see less opportunities than the amount of devices in the Discover tab.
Gregory, regarding your question about the routers and laptops, I will follow up with you via email. It's a little bit technical for me. Randy is asking whether there's a way to edit an unknown device. You are able to export the report to an Excel or to PDF. There you can add any kind of changes or filters and use it how you see fit. Leo is asking if there's a minimum system requirement to run the agent. Not that I'm aware of. Shahar, do you know offhand if we have any kind of minimum requirement?
No, actually, you need a Windows agent. Currently, for Mac, agent is not possible. But currently, that's the only requirement that we have.
Matt, the money value that it's being pulled in is actually from what you set up under your opportunities as the admin. So it just matches it to there. Sabet Baraya, I'm not sure I really understand the question. I'm going to follow up with you via email. Joshua Garcia, regarding firewalls again. We have a KB article that explains all the necessary firewall technical setups. And if you're having any issues, and of course our technical support team is on hand to help you. Caleb, we answered this question a few times. Again, if you're running from a domain control, if you're running the scan from a domain controller, then yes, you are able to install agents. Workgroups currently cannot, but it is in the pipeline. Haley Rafter, again, anything that is firewall related, we have a KB that explains how that should be set up. If you're still having issues, please reach out to our technical support team. They will do their best to assist you. Okay. Gregory, I believe we're looking at, again, Terra works very agile, so it's hard to be specific with our dates, but we're looking at a Q1 release. Jason is asking whether the scan will update itself. Correct. When you run a scan on a customer, you only have to do it the one time. It's auto set to rescan every specific set of hours. I'm not exact. Maybe Shahar, do you know the specific amount of hours? If it's once a day or once every 12 hours?
Twice a day. The recurring scan happens twice a day. In the future, we're gonna add the option to schedule the scan whenever you want.
Carlos, you do not need a domain controller anymore to scan the network. You can use any device that has an Aryeh agent installed on it to scan a network. But to install agents onto unmonitored devices, that has to be done through a DC. Okay. See if there's one or two more questions, because we are finished with our time here today. Josh was asking what type of devices that we do not detect. As far as I'm aware, anything with an IP address connected to your network will be detected. Anything that's able to connect to your network can be detected. Okay. Paul, yes, this is the original network discovery feature that was released last year. And we've now re-released it with workgroup support. So it's no longer specific to domain controllers. Okay, let's see if I can find one more. Let's see if the chat box had any questions that I maybe missed. All right, Phil was asking in the chat if the process is any different for work groups. Nope, it's the exact same process as it is for domain controllers, as it is for work groups. All you got to do is just select the agent of your choice, whether it's a DC or it's a desktop, and just run scan. All right, folks, thank you so much for your time. If there's any other questions that I wasn't able to answer, either they were beyond my technical knowledge, we will definitely reach out via email with replies. Fear not. And that brings us to a close. Thank you again. See you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.